No stupid pop-ups. Let me just finish pulling up the live on my computer because it's easier for me to see the chat on here. Hello, hello. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, looks like it's working. Very nice. Very nice. Hold on a second. There we go. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Hello, hello. Alrighty, you're tidy. Hello, Chi-Chi. Hello, Lego Does Stuff. Hello, Lyro Fsilla. Hello, Shiloh. Hello, Maria Tracer. There's a name I know. So nice to see everybody. Just trying to get the camera in a good angle here. I think it's a little crooked still. I think that'll work. There we go. Wait, oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it a good live. All right, there we go. That's even more crooked. Whatever. Deal with it. Life ain't fair. Oh, Jesus. Hello, everybody. Love your reaction videos. Thank you. Oh, favorite YouTuber? You guys are so nice. What happens if you eat a really, 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 really big pizza? Well, then you get your body filled with a really, 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 really big pizza. And hopefully it's a good pizza. I'm thinking of becoming a Christian. Hey, if you think it's gonna, add to your life, then that's wonderful. Like, it's just, fuck, I don't know how to talk. Sorry, I'm recovering from a sickness. If you want to be religious, do it for you. Don't do it for other people. I think that's the best advice I can give. I enjoy believing in God. That's why I'm the religion I am. Opinion on Last of Us 2. Well, I really enjoyed Last of Us 1. I'm actually one of the few people who didn't like the ending to Last of Us 1. I was like, wow, what a selfish asshole. But, I kind of wished it was a player choice or something. And boy, did that become all the more needed in Last of Us 2, because Last of Us 2 could have been such an amazing game because the gameplay was great, the graphics were phenomenal, the little mini stories in the game that you uncover of other characters were amazing, but the overall story was just so unsatisfying and so annoying. And again, they knew people, they must have known on some level that they didn't have a good setup because they lied in their marketing. Like, I hate it when you lie in your marketing. Like, if you want to do what Marvel did in Avengers and take an Infinity Stone off Thanos' gauntlet in the marketing, that's not a big deal. That's more like preventing a spoiler. But this game literally showed scenes in the marketing that weren't in the game to make you think a certain character wasn't gonna die, and it's like, go to hell. That pissed me off. And the ending was terrible to that game. What do you think of Epic the Musical? I think it's fantastic, and I'm working on a video on it. It's just, I really want to do it justice, so it's a little strange. I'm curious, why do you dislike Batman Arkham Knight? I don't overall. I mean, there's two problems I have with Batman Arkham Knight, and most of it's great, but I don't even know how you knew I had problems with Arkham Knight, but the Jason Todd reveal was stupid, and most of the boss fights are not boss fights. It's Batman tackles them in a cutscene, and that's the boss fight. I didn't like that. Good old son, thank you for the donation. Does mythology have a food origin myth? I don't know, Jupiter being bored and making pizza and then Prometheus giving it to humans. I don't think pizza is in any mythology. But I know there's origins for certain foods. I believe there's actually a Jewish tale of why they don't have the yeast in their bread. And that's probably the only one I know of. Who's the god of money? There's a few. In Japanese myth, it's, I believe his name is Daikakuten. Give me a second. And in Hinduism, I believe it's Kubera. Let me take a look, make sure I'm not I'm right. No, I'm right. Daikakuten and Kubera, yeah. The Daikakuten, Japanese god of wealth. He's one of the 7 gods of fortune. And Kubera is the Hindu god of wealth. So there's some gods of wealth for you. Luke Truscott, thanks for the donation. Also, Hermes, thank you for the I love yous. I love you too. Do you like Robin Hood? Yeah, quite a bit. I enjoyed the Disney movie enough as a kid, but it did bore me at times. I actually really like the Kevin Costner movie, but of course no movie compares to the Mel Brooks film. Men in Tights is supreme Robin Hood. Are you excited for Resident Evil 9? I'm indifferent, honestly. Maybe it'll be good, I don't know. Hey, Mythology Guy, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Who's your favorite goddess in Chinese and Japanese mythology? Okay, so you want goddess specifically. That's a little tricky. Chinese and Japanese. Yeah, because I know who my favorite male gods are in both of those. That's actually pretty hard. I'm not 100% sure. Because Amaterasu's fine, but, like, I wouldn't say she's one of my favorite goddesses. With Chinese, my first thought is maybe Nuwa, but, you know, I can't think of a lot of deep reasons for that. I've never really thought about it. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Yes, Hermes, I did talk to you, and I'm glad your life is complete. I just became Hellenistic. Hey, good for you. Will Shu be in the card game? Not at launch, but he is planned for a future expansion. John Radcliffe, thanks for the $5. I used your opening to Sea of Monsters as a joke on my fiance when she asked me to do things and she lost it. Thanks for the good luck. I'm so glad you liked that. Yeah, I had to convince Will to do that with me because she was a little shy about it. But I was like, come on, hun, it's going to be funny. And she was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And she was happy with how it came out. So, yeah. Will Chang'e be in the card game? Yes, she will be in at launch. She will be a minor god. Actually, you could probably say Chang'e is my favorite Chinese goddess. I really like her. Can you play more Age of Mythology? When the Japanese expansion drops, we'll do a stream of that. Look, if I dedicate streams to doing too much Age of Mythology, I'm going to get completely lost in it and we'll never play anything else. Mr. Morgan, thanks for the $5. Thoughts on Death Stranding 2 or just the series in general? Honestly, I haven't played either Death Stranding game yet. I actually want to, but I know that it's an extreme time investment. And what sucks is lately I don't have a lot of time for stuff like that. I haven't even started Expedition 33 yet, and God, I can't tell you how much I want to play that. Hidden to Grow, thanks for the $5 Canadian. Would you like to see the Kane Chronicles made into a Disney Plus series like PJO? And would you change anything? I wasn't overly happy with the Percy Jackson series, unfortunately, and I am working on a video of that too. This is why I don't have time for anything. So I honestly don't know, but I'm open to it, is the thing. If they announced, hey, we're gonna do the Kane Chronicles now, I'd be like, all right, I hope it's better. You know. Thank you very much for the I love yous from many people. Could the Sisters of Fate make a Greek god die even though they're immortal? It depends on which interpretation of mythology you're going with. Some people say the gods can die, but most agree that they can't. But, you know, some gods can take immortality away, and I'd be shocked if the Sisters of Fate couldn't do that. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they could. Awesome. Also must, thank you for the $10. Do you plan to do anything on the channel with the Spelunky games? They surprisingly have a lot of elements from various Asian mythologies, as well as a few others like Egyptian, Aztec, and European. I've actually never heard of those games. I'll have to keep a note of that. Spelunky, like spelunking in a cave. How many Percy Jackson books have you read, apart from having them in your videos? I've read every Riordan book except, the new Percy trilogy. I am like, I started reading Chalice of the Gods, and then I got distracted by other things, so I'm up to that point, basically. But I've read every before that, I've read every PJ book: Heroes of Olympus, Kane Chronicles, Magnus Chase, Trials of Apollo, and The Sun and the Star. Sun and the Star was unfortunately not good, in my opinion, but everything else I had fun with. Okay. And to the people asking, why is this Q&A late? I've been very sick over the last week. I've had a lot of problems. Like I just like I especially the other day, I was up almost the night before the Q&A was supposed to happen a couple days ago. I was up almost all night, like sneezing, and like my nose was all stuffed up, and I was coughing, and it just kept me up almost the entire night. I think I got 1 hour of sleep. And then, so on Monday morning, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna eat some food, do the Q&A, I'm gonna have fun, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. And what happened was, while I was making the food, like I was heating something up, I just went and I sat on my couch while waiting, and I just passed out on the couch. I just completely passed out. And I woke up like 3.5 hours later. I had already missed my own Q&A, and I was like, oh, damn it. And like, I couldn't even breathe through my nose. It was so stuffed up, and I was just like, okay, I can't do this today. And so I just told everyone what was going on, and you were all wonderful about it. Absolutely amazing how wonderful you all were about it. And I am feeling better now. So, yeah. Thank you for being so kind. Who do you think would be a good actor for a live action version of the God of War Thor? Ooh, interesting question. This is going to sound weird, but Gerard Butler. That voice would be completely different, though. But if you forgive the voice, I think he'd play that role pretty well, honestly. I think I have a cold too. Yeah, something's going around, dude. Like, Wilda got sick. A lot of people got sick. Do you plan on making a vid where you explain all of Norse and Greek mythology? You want to watch a 9-hour video? I mean, that's been asked for several times before, so maybe someday. But God, that would be a ton of work. So it would be quite a while. Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon this year? No. I was gonna for a video, but I'm so tired of these remakes. I hate them so much, and I just don't want to watch them. What's your favorite epic song, and who's your favorite character? Can't wait for the video. But if you're feeling unwell, don't overwork yourself. I was sick this week too. Well, thank you very much. My favorite epic song is Survive. I just think that song is so freaking epic. And I honestly thought Jorge did a good job making Odysseus really likable in the story. So maybe he's my favorite, honestly. The Stitch in live action is a disaster, I'm sure. Do you know Ryomen Sukuna? In case you can't tell from how I'm reading that, the answer is no. From Jujutsu Kaisen. There's actually a Japanese mythical character of the same name. I actually didn't know that. Hey, I'm learning today. I've seen like 2 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I didn't remember anybody's name, but like just a friend of mine was watching it, and I was just in the room. Are there any other mythologies you know, or that have their chief deity be a goddess besides Japanese? No, actually, I've asked people, does anybody know of a mythology with a female leader of the gods? Like, Japanese is the only one I know of. Did I grow the beard, or... Wait, what? Did I grow the beard to look like Thor? Because you look... Oh, did I think you're asking if I grew the beard to look like Thor. This is just my natural facial hair. It's just how it comes out. But thank you. Huge fan. I love your videos. Thank you very much. Nerd! If I'm a nerd, why did I fail school? Have you seen Attack on Titan? I've seen the first 2 seasons. Please don't spoil the rest. What is Garuda? Garuda in Hinduism is several things at once, actually. He's the king of the birds and the god of the birds. He's like a humanoid, half bird, half man, but he's also the mount of the god Vishnu. Like, he does a lot of things at once. John Ratcliffe, thanks for the $2. Can any Greek deity stop chaos? I don't think so. Can't stop, won't stop. Maybe Ma'at from Egyptian mythology could. That's the goddess of order. What is a Shinigami? Shinigami are Japanese death deities. They're basically the Grim Reapers of Japan. They are said to bring you closer to death as they get closer to you, which was adapted in the Death Note series. Do you like Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh yeah, really, really love it. I'm glad Red Dead Online is finally getting a goddamn update. I hate how, like, ignored that has been. I will say, I only have 2 big qualms, maybe 3 big qualms about Red Dead 2. One, you can't get away with shit in that game. If you want to do, like, an evil playthrough, like, you punch a guy in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and someone somehow sees it, like, 2 miles away. I hate that crap. They need to fix that. 2, I hate that you can only carry 2 weapons at a time now, instead of having your whole arsenal, like in the first game. And 3, it takes way too long to loot people. But other than that, fantastic game. Are angels mythology? In the way I view mythology, yeah. For me, mythology is just widely believed supernatural stories. It doesn't mean fake, it just means, supernatural. Inferno Church, thanks for the $10. What's a higher number, the American population or Zeus's children? Been a fan for years. Thank you very much. I know the funny answer would be Zeus's children, but he did not have hundreds of millions of kids in the myths, so I'm gonna have to say American population, sorry. Can Nyx take over the throne of Olympus? It is suggested she could. The thing is, Nyx is on Zeus's side, as shown in a couple of stories, so I think she's, fine with how things are. What do you think of the epic casting? I don't really know much about the casting, so it's hard for me to answer that. What do you think of God of War? I really love the series overall. I was not into God of War 1 when I first played it. I thought it was a little overrated, honestly. Part of it was I just hated walking across the beams and that. But in defense of that game, I played it way too late. I actually played the 3rd game first. So going from the 3rd game to the original game obviously is going to be a big drop off. So my opinion had been tainted. I will bring the guy who messaged you on PS5 to the chat. I know him. Okay, if you say so. Wait, hold on. How were the Dagda and the Morrigan born? Oh, I used to know that. Shit. I actually don't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I looked at Celtic myth. Like, I've been studying so much Greek and Norse lately for the God of War and Epic videos and Percy Jackson videos. It's been so long since I looked at Celtic. I want to, like, get back into Celtic, honestly. Please do not spam the chat. That is not fair to the other chatters. What would happen if the Hecatonchires never saved Zeus from Hera? Well, Nyx probably would have found out about it anyway, so it probably would have turned out the same. Do you know anything of Turkish mythology? A little bit. I know the tale of Sarakes and shit like that, but I don't know, like, the big overall stuff. I need to read more Turkish. Mythology Guy, I didn't forget the guy's username. Oh, okay. How was Krishna born? Oh, that's an interesting story. Was this Krishna or Rama? Damn it. There was one guy who had taken over this kingdom, and, like, I remember it was kind of like a little Moses story. Like, the gods impregnated this one woman with Vishnu's avatar, and then the villain found out about it, so he put the woman in a jail cell, or I think I'm saying this out of order. I'm totally butchering this story. And then, like, when the woman gave birth to the baby, they switched Krishna with another baby so that the guy wouldn't kill Krishna. And then it gets really weird. The guy goes in and he takes the baby that he thinks is Krishna, but it's the switched baby, and he throws it against the wall like a maniac. But then it turns out the other baby is actually Durga. I don't know how the hell that happened. And she goes, no, it ain't. It's a weird story. I'm sorry if I sound weird. I'm having a little bit of brain fog. I haven't 100% recovered from the sickness. But I'm happy to be here with you guys. Thank you for the well wishes. Have you watched Vinland Saga? Not yet. What's your favorite European mythology? Favorite European would be Greek. I'm highly biased. It's the one I know the best and one I've known the longest. My two favorites are Greek and Egyptian overall. So if you're saying European, it's Greek. Is Doom based on Satan mythology? Well, it's definitely based on hell lore, so yes. Why did Apollo take part in a coup against Zeus? Well, I mean, you could chalk it up to maybe it took place after the killing of Asclepius, so maybe it was because he still resented Zeus for that, you know? Could you tell us the story of Typhon? Sure. But I'm going to make it quick because I want to answer more people's questions. Gaia was still mad about the gods overthrowing the Titans and throwing them in Tartarus, so she mated with Tartarus and thus birthed Typhon and Echidna. Typhon was a giant monster with dragons flowing out of his body. And he mated with Echidna. She then birthed a bunch of the other monsters from Greek myth, like the Cerberus, Chimera, Sphinx, Nemean lion, and so on. Typhon battled the gods, and then at one point while Zeus was fighting him, he defeated Typhon by throwing Mount Etna on top of him, and it's said he's still under there to this day. Though there's an alternate telling where he threw him in Tartarus. Which is weird because he's the son of Tartarus. But then so are the Gigantus, which have the same fate. Chi-Chi, thank you for the $10. Hey, Mythman, can you name one trait you really like and dislike about each of the 12 Olympians? Please do include Hades and Hestia. Okay, so the 14. Also, I hope you feel better soon, and please take care of yourself. All right, I can do that. All right, traits I really like and dislike about each of the Olympians. All right, I'm going to have to try to rapid fire this. All right, Aphrodite. I hate how she's a petty bitch who punishes women just for getting complimented, but I like that she has that alternate badass warrior version of herself in Sparta. And also that she brought Galatea to life. That was sweet of her. Hermes. I like how clever he is, but I dislike what he did to Hermaphroditus. Dionysus. I like his love for his wife Ariadne, but I dislike how he R-worded that one woman. Hades, I dislike that there aren't enough stories about him, but I like that he has a pet dog and loves him. Hestia, I like that she's not involved in Olympian drama, but I don't like that she doesn't have a family of her own, because as goddess of the hearth and home, you'd think she'd be a shoo-in for some shit like that. Hera, ooh, there's so much to dislike, all the victim blaming and shit. But I do like that she doesn't do any cheating herself. That's admirable, even though Zeus totally deserves to get cheated on. Zeus, where do we start? I think you can all guess some of the many things I dislike about Zeus, but I do, legitimately, admire, that he is, what's the right word I'm looking for here? How he has squashed, rebellious attempts against him and then managed to be forgiving in the long run. He actually has forgiven the people who have turned on him, not the Titans. But, that's pretty cool. Poseidon, I like that we get a lot of cool cyclopes and stories from him, of great heroes. Actually, that's also something I like about Zeus. We get a lot of great hero stories from him. But Poseidon, what do I dislike about Poseidon? Well, I don't want to just say the Zeus thing all over again. I dislike that he took part in that coup and then just got completely embarrassed as a result. Okay, maybe I'll pick this back up later. It's kind of taking over the Q&A. John Ratcliffe, thanks for the $5. Israeli judge Samson, versus Greek hero Heracles, Who wins, and how long does it take Samson to wipe the floor with him? Well, first of all, it depends. Does Samson have his hair? Because if Samson doesn't have his hair, he ain't winning that fight. It's a little tricky. I do think Samson could potentially win, but Heracles is smart. I feel like if at some point during the fight Heracles grabbed Samson's hair, Heracles has insanely strong strength. What if he tore Samson's hair out? Like, then Samson would lose all his power. But then how would Heracles figure out how to do that? You know, if Heracles doesn't have his gear, then I'll give it to Samson. But if he does, I'm going to give it to Heracles. Are the Percy Jackson movies really that bad? They're bad adaptations. And I think the Sea of Monsters movie is just terrible any way you slice it. I don't see how anyone could find that movie good. But the Percy Jackson movie, like, by itself is okay. Like, it actually got a lot of people into the books, so good for that. How do you feel about a... Oh, whoop, there that question went. How do you feel about a necromancer summoning a Gashadokuro army? Can they do that? I don't see why they can't. Gashadokuro in Japanese myth is a giant skeleton made out of the cumulative skeletons of people who died on the battlefield. So I don't see why a necromancer couldn't just summon one of those. Like, he'd have to go to a place with a lot of dead bodies. But I think that could be really cool. In fact, they did something like that in Neo, didn't they? Like, so yeah. It has been a long time, Andrew. By the way, apologies for the PS5 videos. Okay, some of these chats like aren't really questions. So, I'm watching you, Mythology Guy. Oh God, are you? Samson only loses his power if he himself cuts his hair or let it be cut. I don't think it being forcefully ripped out would get... Well, Delilah cut it off, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. What would you rather have, Samson and Heracles' strength or Solomon's wisdom? Solomon's wisdom. What am I going to do in the modern day with Samson and Heracles' strength other than make, like, Alpha Man videos? If I have Solomon's wisdom, I feel like there's so much more I could accomplish. I would know not to cut a baby in half, if anyone knows what story I'm talking about. What monsters live in Hades? Like the underworld? Well, all of them. Because any monster that's ever been slain would be in the underworld, right? Right? So, wouldn't all of them? Okay, but ones we expressly know are there. Like, there's Shades, obviously. There's like, some sort of Greek version of hellhounds and stuff. You could count Charon as a monster. There's the Lost Souls and stuff like that. There's the Furies, obviously. Some people say the Fates are down there, though they're not really monsters. But, you know, there's a lot of daemons down there of, like, dreams and nightmares and shit like that. The Cacodemons, if you've ever heard of those are down there. Would you... Okay, listen. Jonah, what are you doing? Are you trying to get the stream banned? Like, why do you do that? What do you get something out of that? Come on. Knock it off. Like, he was doing that stupid tree grow joke. Oh, and there he did it again. Haha. What does that do for you? Seriously, what does that do? I'm just curious. No, you're not. You're trying to cause a problem. Like, why are you doing that? Come on. Like, oh, why am I talking to you? God damn it. Hey, watching from South Africa? That's awesome. Hell yeah. Favorite Greek god? Hades, and also kind of Heracles when he's a god. Sorry, man. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I don't like banning people. Like, obviously, if someone's being relentless, they'll leave me no choice. But I just wanted, like, what? Come on. How did you start YouTube? Okay, it was Wilda's idea, actually. For those who don't know, Wilda's my girlfriend and business partner. So I like used to do a lot of stand-up comedy, and I would like to get back into it, actually. I used to do a lot of stand-up comedy, and I would perform at tourist attractions and stuff like that. And I live in an area where there isn't a lot of acting work. So I was just kind of working some regular jobs, and I was missing performing more. And so Wilda told me, well, why don't you try, doing it on social media? And I was like, yeah, but I don't have a camera or any of that important stuff. And she said, just do it on your phone. Everyone, like, smartphones have so much technology on it now. And she was like, and why don't you try TikTok? That's an easy thing to record stuff for. I was like, oh, I hate TikTok. Like, I don't want to dance. And she was like, you don't have to dance. Just, like, make funny stuff, Use it as an outlet. And she was like, since, TikTok doesn't have a lot of that stuff. This was before TikTok was full of comedic stuff. It's a lot better now. But back then, there wasn't that much. This was in, like, late 2019. And she said, it'll stand out more since there isn't as much of that. And I was like, okay, I guess I could figure something out. Like, because I had started using Vine previously, and I was actually building a following on Vine, just making jokey videos, but then Vine got shut down, so I was like, okay, I guess it's not happening. And she said, hey, here's an idea too, like, you love mythology, because she knew that I loved mythology very much, and she said, why don't you specifically make jokes about that and see what happens? I was like, all right, I guess I can try that out. And I did, and, like, after, I think, like, my 8th video or so that I made popped off, like, got like 10,000 views. It was incredible. And, like, within the first month, we were at like 5,000 subscribers on TikTok, and it kept going. And I was like, hey, this is cool. Why don't I just also take these videos and also put them on YouTube just to see if it can do well there too? And eventually it did. And here we are. Is it bad to be a Hellenist? No, it's not bad to be a Hellenist. You know what it's bad to do? Doing things that hurt people. That's the only thing that's bad to do. Like, you do you as long as you're not a detriment to those around you. That's the way I view life. What's the weirdest myth you've ever heard? Oh, God. I've said this several times, but it's probably the Shirime. The Japanese creature that's literally just a pale, white, faceless man with an eye sticking out of his butthole. And literally all he does is he finds people on the street and bends over and goatsies in front of them to try to freak them out. It's really weird. What monsters are in Helheim? Quite a few. There's Droger. There's Garm, obviously, the giant dog who guards Helheim. There's Wights. There's basically undead versions of, like, all kinds of creatures and stuff. There's Hrym, who is a Droger giant. That's pretty damn cool. There's also the giant who guards the bridge into Helheim. What's her name? I think it starts with an H. Damn it. But so there's giants, there's Droger, there's Wights, and there's wargs in Helheim. There you go. Wait, hold on. Did Odysseus cheat on Penelope? Technically, he did. And look, I know what a lot of you are going to say. A lot of you are going to be like, Odysseus didn't want to sleep with Circe. He only did that to free his men. He had no choice. He couldn't refuse the goddess. Fair enough. The first time he slept with Circe. Here's what you all seem to forget. He stayed with Circe after that for like a year and continued to bang her every single night. He didn't need to do that. Okay? I don't think all of that was against his will. And even if you want to give him that, later on he circled back and went back to Circe's island and banged her again. He didn't need to do that. And that's how he got her pregnant with Telegonus. Are you familiar with Irish mythology? Yeah, that's a part of Celtic myth. I'm aware of the Tuatha De Danann, the Fomorians, characters like like the Dagda, the Morrigan, Lu of the Long Arm, Nuada of the Silver Hand, Balor of the Evil Eye, the tale of when Lu sends the three brothers to go fetch him a whole bunch of items to make up for them killing his father. The tale of Caorthanach, like the satanic mother. The Knights of the Round Table aren't really Irish. That's more British Celtic. But there's also creatures like Turk Truith, the Kelp. Okay, now I'm mixing in some Scottish. But the point is, yes, I do know some Irish. He's alive. Yes, I am alive. Thank you. What's your favorite myth? The 12 Labors of Heracles. I love that story to death. Okay, I'm going to pause the chat so I can answer a few of these questions. Make videos about Islam, brother. I'd need to learn more about it first. I did make a couple videos about Ramadan. Favorite Norse myth? The tale when Thor and Loki meet Utgard Loki. I love the twists on all those tests they go through. If you were a beautiful woman in Greece and Zeus was hunting you, where would you hide? I would hide in a temple of Artemis or Hera. No, not Hera. No, because Hera would blame me. I would hide in maybe a temple of Artemis because I believe like maybe that's the best chance I would have. Like maybe she'd protect me. If you had to endure any Greek god's pain, which would you choose? Any Greek god's pain, which would I choose? Hestia. She has no pain. She's out of everything. Yeah, Mr. Agent for Trappy, I read your chat already. You repeating it over and over again isn't going to change my answer. Yeah, I know Artemis might still blame me, but that's the best I can think of, okay? No, you know what? Temple of Hestia. How could I be so stupid? I would hide in a Temple of Hestia. That's the best chance I would have. Like, hi, Mythology Guy. Hi, Tyler. What monsters live in the Duat? Okay. You want to know what monsters live in every underworld. The Duat is kind of like, it's not just the underworld, though. It's like the realm of magic and gods themselves. So in this one, I'm actually comfortable saying literally every Egyptian mythical monster is in some way in the Duat. So there you go. Seth Rogen, yes, you're not the first person to point out that I have similarities to Seth Rogen. Hello, Darth Sidious. Do you think the religion of Islam has enough mythology, like jinns, etc., that superhero movies could be made of it? Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've read Arabian Nights, but literally like 1001, a lot of stories there. In fact, I think there is a DC superhero who uses a jinn. Wasn't there one in the Justice Society? Like, or no, wait, the Justice League that existed during World War II. Didn't one of them have a genie? Like, yeah. Opinion on Epic the Musical. I think it's fantastic. We were talking about it earlier. Are you familiar with Philippines mythology? Why don't you look at my playlist on the channel for Philippines mythology, and you will get an answer to that. The answer is yes. I know a lot of Filipino monsters. I missed a super chat? Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I'm going to scroll back. Oh, you're right. I did. John Ratcliffe, thanks for the $5. Would Aphrodite punish prime Selma Hayek for her being so naturally beautiful? Selma Hayek is gorgeous. Like, I think she's still gorgeous, honestly. But the answer is yeah, probably. Like, you know, one thing I often tell my girlfriend, I often tell Wilda, I say, you are proof that Aphrodite doesn't exist, because she would not allow this. Like, that's something I tell her often. Can you tell everything wrong with different movies like you did for Hercules? Yes, I have already done everything wrong with Clash of the Titans and the new Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans and the movie Immortals and all of the Thor movies except Love and Thunder. So yes, I can do that. Have you ever watched Ianu? It's a show inspired by Yoruba mythology. No, but that sounds cool. I should try to check that out. Who do you think would win in a fight, Odin or Zeus? I get asked this all the time. I think Odin would outsmart Zeus. Odin has a lot of wisdom. Thoughts on American Gods? Haven't read it yet. It's on my reading list. Best adaptation of a death god. I honestly always, like, I agreed with John Solo that the best depiction of Hades is in the Percy Jackson books, which is why I was so let down by how they did it in the movie, and then even more let down by how they did it in the show, because in the show they just kind of made him pathetic. I don't know what the point of that was. But, yeah, honestly, the Percy Jackson books depiction of Hades was perfect. And the one shining spot in the Gods of Egypt movie was how they did Anubis. They actually did him really well in that. Big Sword Little Man, thanks for the $5. If you could have any mythical beast as a pet, which one would you pick? I've said this before. It would either be the goose that lays the golden eggs or the donkey that pukes up gold every day. And I think you can tell what my reasoning is for those. Have you watched Kalki? Yes, and I did a video on it. You can watch that if you like. Have you seen 100 Years of Solitude? I have not. Haven't seen that one. I already answered the what monsters live in Hades thing. Favorite Greek and Norse gods? Well, I already answered the Greek one, but my favorite Norse god is Loki. I love his stories, and I love how he got Scotty to laugh that one time when he tied his balls to a goat. I respect that. I respect doing whatever it takes to get a laugh. Cerberus is the best boy. I agree. Do you play any instruments? I actually used to play the drums growing up. I played the snare drums and a little bit of the bass drum. But it's been a long time. I don't, like, remember it as well. But I feel like if I really tried, I could relearn it and get right back into it. Any noise problems? I don't know. Are we having noise problems? Favorite, most accurate mythological video game. Okay, most accurate's a little tricky, but my favorite mythical video game is Age of Mythology. I love the shit out of that game. So good. So good. But, yeah, okay, most accurate, Black Myth Wukong. That's the most accurate video game I've ever played, and it's probably... And, yeah, I do think I actually like it a little more than God of War Ragnarok. So that's my second favorite, and then third is God of War Ragnarok. Will you ever make a video about Moon Knight? Already did. If you're talking about an inaccuracy video, you got to get the Thor video to 1 million views if you want that. Do you think Zeus would beat Goku? No. No. Goku would wipe the floor with Zeus. What's the worst depiction of Hades and Anubis? Ooh. Worst depiction of Anubis that I've seen would probably be Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Light. Worst depiction of Hades? The Wonder Woman animated movie from 2009. They made him Dionysus. I don't know why they did that. It's a good movie, by the way, just bad Hades depiction. Hey, I do not know how to pronounce that, but thank you for the $5 donation. Is that like Monkey D. Luffy in another language? I'm gonna assume it is. Hey, Mythology Guy, Monkey D. Rusiki here. Oh, I was so close. Okay, Monkey D. Rusiki. I've been a fan for many years, and I was wondering if you'd ever make more videos on Slavic mythology. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, I honestly, what I want to do is, because I'm thinking of eventually adding Slavic into my card game, usually my process is I go pick up 2 big books on a mythology I need to learn more of, and then I use all that knowledge to add stuff to the card game, and then it also trickles down into me thinking of a lot of jokes which I post on the channel. So yeah, it's totally down to be done. I've got a lot I'm already working on, so it's hard to learn more about a mythology that I do somewhat know, but don't know a lot of. Like, I know some Slavic. I know Perun, Veles, Marzana, Chernobog, stuff like that. But I'm not super well-versed like I am in some other stuff. Thoughts on Assassin's Creed and their different pantheons? I recently played Assassin's Creed The Shadows, the Japanese one. And that got pretty bad. It was so goddamn tedious. And they barely used the Pantheon, so not much there. I thought Assassin's Creed Origins got like twice as good when they added in the Curse of the Pharaohs stuff. So that was honestly so much fun. But I haven't finished playing through Odyssey or Valhalla, so I can't really answer with those. But I loved the Curse of the Pharaoh stuff. I loved exploring the different Duat afterlives. That was fantastic. Twisted Flame, thanks for the donation. Zeus alone versus the Celtic gods. Okay, the Celtic gods. I feel like the Dagda would already be like a big fight for Zeus. Like, I don't know if Zeus could beat him. Then again, wait, actually, Zeus is immortal, the Celtic gods aren't. But the Dagda has his staff of life and death, so, again, can't be 100% sure. When can I play your card game? I need it. We're actually, we're getting pretty close to the point that we can start launching stuff. We just need a little more time. Steel, thanks for the $5. Hey, Mythman, love your stuff. By the way, can you tell us a few things about Zagreus? He's one of Dionysus's previous iterations of what we think his origins. Yeah, I did know about that. Okay, here, I'll tell you what we know about Zagreus. So, as a lot of people know, Zeus turned into a snake to bang his sister Demeter. She gave birth to Persephone. And then some years later, he repeated the process, but on Persephone. He turned into a snake, banged Persephone. She then birthed a boy named Zagreus. But Zagreus was then murdered and cut into pieces by some fucked up people. And then those pieces were then, like... It's weirdly interpreted. The pieces of Zagreus, like, and his soul bits were then re-put into Semele, I believe it was, who then, like, they then started to reform into a new fetus, but then Hera tricked Semele into getting incinerated by Zeus's true form, so he took the fetus and put it in his leg, and then it came out as Dionysus. However, there's an alternate telling saying that where Zagreus is listed as a child of Hades. I personally like to think it's like because when he died, his soul went down into the underworld, and his body bits received a new soul that became Dionysus, but his original soul went into the underworld, and Hades took him in as his son. So that's like an interesting way to look at it, I think. Frantic Missy, thanks for the $2. How do I book a podcast interview? Oh, just email me and like email our business email, Tartarus Games, and I'll try to get back to you. I'm sorry, that is the best way to reach me. It's just we get so many emails over there, so sometimes things get lost, but that's the best way I can give you, so sorry about that. If I miss your email and you still want to do it, just email me again. That's the best system I have right now. I'm sorry, I'm one guy. I don't have a team. Will any Titans be in the card game besides Hecate? If we're going to make the Titan deck a stretch goal, and that's actually going to include Hecate, but yeah, if we hit our stretch goals on Kickstarter, you will receive a Titan deck, which will include Kronos, Iapetus, Koios, Krios, Themis, Phoebe, Hecate, Pallas, Persis, Atlas, Prometheus, Helios, and so on. All right, let me see if there's any... I'm a little behind, so I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. It actually looks like I did miss a super chat. Okay, let me answer this. Ashmedal, thank you for the donation. 2 questions. Favorite Egyptian god, and what is your favorite made-up mythology and media that isn't based on real myths? Oh, okay. Favorite Egyptian god is Anubis. I really like Anubis. It's partially because I love dogs. Favorite made-up mythology and media that isn't based on a real mythology. Okay, so no Lord of the Rings there. It's probably either the Mythology in the Aragon series or maybe the Star Wars series. Both of those do have their own mythos, and they are both really interesting. So one of those, probably. Okay, ooh, looks like we got some new super chats. Sanskar, thank you for the donation. Hey man, love watching your videos. What is your next one about? Well, my next video, I'm currently working on a few videos at once. I'm currently working on a review of Epic the Musical, which is the Odyssey in musical form. I'm also working on an inaccuracy video for God of War Valhalla. And I'm also working on a video breaking down how certain Pokemon were based on mythical creatures. And I'm also working on a video breaking down a certain AI generated video that tricked a whole lot of people into believing a fake story. So I got a few things going on at once. Madhu Sudan, thank you for the donation. Have you read the Mahabharata? Yes, I have. What are your thoughts on Karna? Was he wronged all his life, and did he deserve the death in the hands of Arjun? Yeah, he was wronged all his life. I mean, he deserved so much better, but people treated him like shit because he was the son of a charioteer, like, as if that's even a bad thing. I hate the elitism that went on in that story. But also, like, he was of divine blood and everything, and, like, you see why he joined the Kauravas, because they were the ones who treated him like a brother instead of like an outcast who, like, just deserved to be shunned. It was kind of infuriating, you know? Okay. I'm trying to catch up with all the super chats. God, I fell so far behind. I blame myself. Twisted Flame, thanks for the donation. Cernunnos versus Artemis in a hunting competition. I assume you mean Artemis from Greek mythology, because you spelled that a little weird, but and Cernunnos versus Artemis in a cat herding competition. All right, so for those who don't know, Cernunnos is like the Celtic god of the wild. I personally think Cernunnos is more a god of the wild than he is a god of hunting. Like, if you want the Celtic god of hunting, Herne the Hunter is, like, the one for that. So I'd say Artemis would win the hunting competition, and Cernunnos would win the cat herding competition, because he's more in control of the wild. Cernunnos is more like the Pan of Celtic myth, I would say. Ashmedai, thank you for another donation. Also, love your videos. Keep the great job, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are so sweet. See, I can't keep up with all your kindness. I really can't. Oh, and a lot of people keep asking me when I'm going to set up a P.O. box. I'm working on that this summer. Like, we're hoping to get one out. So if you guys want to send me weird shit, feel free. Will Geb and Nut be in the card game? Yes, they will be in the game at launch. And I am so proud of the artwork we have for them. I think it looks incredible. What is your card game? It's a competitive, like, trading card game. I made it to be similar to, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering. More Yu-Gi-Oh! I hadn't played Magic the Gathering yet when I made my game. But I have played Magic the Gathering since, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see why my friends keep comparing my game to Magic. But it's a game where you summon characters from mythology. You can give them equip cards, which are based on weapons from mythology, or put down locations from mythology to buff people, and you just kill your opponent's mythical characters. That's the idea. And if you want to know more about it, it's linked in the description of this video. What is that? God, I hate how much AI is out there. This coming from someone who's interested in AI. Now, there's nothing wrong with being interested in AI, because I do think it has its place. People, keep in mind, we've been using AI for a lot of shit over the years. Like, AI's mere existence isn't new. It's just the length we're using it to now is new. I think it's totally fine to use AI to replace, like, tedious jobs. It's just annoying when people use AI to replace artistic or creative positions. Like, one thing that really infuriates me now is, like, nowadays when I share the artwork I commissioned for the game, I get like 20 people going, what is that, AI? And it's like, no, it's not. It's real art. I really hired people to draw it. Like, the problem is so many people can't tell anymore. What is my religion? I'm Christian. Thank you very much. Shane Jordan, thank you for the 100 Czar. Athena is as the daughter of Zeus, or Athena as the sister of Zeus, wait, what? Are you asking if she's Zeus's daughter or sister? She's his daughter. I've never seen a version where she's his sister. Do you have uh, do you have your stretch goals for Kickstarter planned out already? If so, what are they, or what ones are you adding? I have an idea of what I want them to be. So, some stretch goals I'm thinking of doing is, and this is like we're gonna add like we'll have some small stretch goals for adding a few Beowulf characters to the game, for adding Styx's children to the game, Kratos, Bia, Zealous, Nike. Well, for adding the children of Horus to the game, Kabesnuf and those guys. And I'm still having these art pieces done, but for adding primordials to the game, like Nyx, Gaia, and Uranus. And the biggest stretch goal would be the Titans expansion, because that would be a whole deck instead of just like 5 cards or so. So that's currently the idea. Do you know Munkar and Nakir? I'm sorry, I don't. Thoughts on Asura's Wrath? I haven't played it, but after watching the death battle with Asura, I really want to play it. It looks amazing. So when I do, we'll stream it. I've already talked to Shane about it. He's down to stream it at some point. Please do Lithuanian mythology. I mean, it's not off the table. Like, I could eventually do that. If you could make a rock band with gods from mythology, who would the members be? Well, you gotta have Apollo, for sure. I'd also probably have Bragi in there, since he's a god of music. Probably Taliesin, the Celtic god of music. And I'd probably just have Sun Wukong in there just to see how crazy he would go. No, you know what? I'd just hire the Sirens. Then we win no matter what, That's my way of cheating my way to victory. But in seriousness, I did always think it would be kind of cool to have if there was a band in Greek mythology and it was like Apollo, Hermes, Dionysus, and Hephaestus. Like, you have Hephaestus on like this big electric like keyboard drum set that he himself created that like plays all kinds of sounds. Yeah, Hermes is a lesser god of music and Apollo is a major god of music. So you have those two being the main ones up front, and you have Dionysus just like being the crazy person in the band, I think that would be fun. Wukong on the drums, that would go hard. Him hitting them with his staff. Favorite Pokemon? My 2 favorite Pokemon, where did I put them? Shit. I used to have their, little toys of them, but my 2 favorite Pokemon are Charizard and Mewtwo. I love those 2. And I used to have... Shit, what are they called? Why am I suddenly forgetting the little figures that Smash Bros. Uses? Damn it. Why did I suddenly forget what they're called? Wait, Amiibos. They're called Amiibos. I used to have Amiibos of both of them, and now I don't know where they are. Damn it. All right, some more super chats. I really can't keep up with your kindness, everybody. Madhusudan, thank you. Shouldn't Krishna have sided with Karna instead of Arjun? Also, shouldn't Krishna have revealed Karna's truth that he was the elder brother of the Pandavas? I completely agree with that second part. Yes, he should have told the Pandavas, hey, that guy's your brother, join him. Not join him, recruit him. I think he didn't side with Karna because Karna was on the Kauravas side, and I don't think Krishna wanted to be sided with them. I think that was that logic, but I don't know why he couldn't tell Arjun the truth. I'm sure there will be some Hindu person who has an incredibly long-winded explanation as to why, but I don't know. Hussam, thank you for the donation. Would Alien X from Ben 10 stack against the Greek gods? Well... Isn't Alien X just omnipotent? So, yeah, I guess so. Twisted Flame, thank you for yet another donation. The devil was depicted with goat legs to stop the worshipping of Cernunnos, who also had goat legs and horns. I know, yeah. Christianity has absorbed a lot of elements from a lot of different cultures, either to dissuade people from those cultures or to make their transition to Christianity easier. And it's a very interesting topic, which I'd love to go deeper into at some point. Denki, thank you for the $5. What is your favorite and least favorite mythology? Favorite is either Greek or Japanese. Greek because I know it the best, and Japanese because it's the craziest. Least favorite is Scientology because it's a scam, and I hate scams. How is Tartarus a place and a god? The same way Gaia is both the earth and a goddess. That's how. Just a sentient location. All right. Am I caught up on the super chats? Oh, I am. Great. Okay. At least I think I am. Just going to check one more time. I really don't want to miss super chats because that's people giving me money. Oh, and I just realized I have to answer the Patreon questions. Jesus Christ, I'm so behind on everything. Okay, guys, real quick, I'm going to answer questions people asked on Patreon, and then I'm going to get right back to all of you, okay? It's part of the benefit of being a Patreon supporter. You get guaranteed answers to your questions. Let me just do these real quick, and then I'll get right back to all of you. So... We have a question from Soaring Rock, who has been a supporter for quite some time now, almost 2 years. Soaring Rock asks, if Ymir was created when ice met fire in Ginnunga Gap, and Ymir is considered the first being, how could Surt already exist in Muspelheim? That's a good question. So I personally think it could be one of two things. It could be either Ymir is just considered the first being in, like, our area, you know, because he literally became our world. Like, it could be, like, he wasn't the first being in all realms, just in our realm. Or it could just be that, you know, it's a mistranslation that Surtur's always been around, and maybe he came into existence shortly after Ymir did. Or somebody just fucked up. Also, he says, there's the story of Ask and Embla, they're like the Adam and Eve of Norse mythology, being created by Odin, Vili, and Ve. Yeah, they carved them out of wood. But then there's also the tale of Rigspula, where Heimdall creates the human class system. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Thralls, Carls, and Jarls, right? Yeah, okay. There's also, so the human class system. Some scholars think Odin might be a better fit than Heimdall for that, personality-wise. What's your take on that? Do you think Rig was actually Odin in disguise? So here's the thing. I don't interpret that story as... So, for people who don't know, there's a story where Heimdall comes down to Earth, and he fathers the origins of the three main classes of humans. The Thralls, which are like the servants, the Carls, which I believe are the middle class, and the Jarls, which are the higher class. So, like, I didn't interpret that as those just being the first humans ever in general. I do interpret Ask and Embla as being like the Adam and Eve of Norse myth, but the Thralls, Carls, and Jarls, when they came about, that's how humans began a divisive class system. But then there's another way you could also interpret it, which is probably the accurate truth, that the Thralls, Carls, and Jarls origin story was there originally, and then when Christian influence came to the Norse people, that's when the Ask and Embla story came about as an influence from the Adam and Eve story. So that's probably what really happened. Do you think Hel was born after humans were already dying and going to the afterlife, or was Helheim, Asgard, and Folkvanger already receiving souls before she was given her role? Yeah, I think dead people were already going to Helheim. Odin just, like... I think for a while they had needed someone to run that place, and when Odin needed to get rid of Loki's daughter, he was like, perfect, I finally found someone who can take over the dead zone. So I think that's what happened. Why do you think Loki's two brothers, Helblindi and Byleaster, are never mentioned in any myths beyond just their names? Same reason his parents Farbauti and Laufey are almost never mentioned in anything. I think that stuff's just kind of lost to time, honestly. There may have been more stories about them. They're just like, we just have very little that survived everything. Thank you again for all the hard work that you do, and I hope you'll have a good 4th of July. I hope you either get to see a lot of fireworks or get to set a lot of fireworks off. Happy 4th of July to everyone else on the stream. Oh, thank you, Soaring Rock. Yeah, a friend of mine's actually hosting a gathering for 4th of July, so I think we'll have a good time. All right, and then we've got a question... Some stuff from Lassie Ehrenreich, who has been a Patreon supporter for over 3 years now. Thank you very much, Lassie. Hope you had a great month. My summer vacation just started. Sorry to be such an annoying know-it-all. Oh, here we go. But there has been 2 things you've gotten wrong. Oh, Lassie, how could you? First, in your Blood of Zeus inaccuracy video of Season 2, you said typhoon comes from typhoon. That's actually a misconception. It actually originates from the Chinese word for big wind, as it only happens in Asia. Learned this from Overly Sarcastic Productions. Yeah, a lot of people were quick to point that out. I still think that the Greek word for typhon is in some way either influenced by or some form of the influence for the word, because otherwise that's a really big fucking coincidence. But I'd have to look into it more. I just, like, all this time, like, I was taught in school that was the origin, and I never thought to, like, disregard it because it sounded so correct, but I could very well have been wrong there. Either way, people use the word typhoon all the time, and that's similar to typhon, so if it was a Voldemort-ass name, you'd think it would still work. Second, you made a short where you said that the myth of cyclopses coming from elephant skulls was inspired by elephant skulls. Okay. While not impossible, it is unconfirmed and just a theory. Did I state that as if it was absolute fact? Because I thought I said it like it was a theory. But, yeah, like, if I stated that like it was the absolute truth, then I shouldn't have stated it that way, and I certainly didn't mean to. Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? No. If not, it's a really great movie about a K-pop band fighting demons from Korean mythology. You know, I think I saw an ad for it on Netflix. I was like, well, that looks stupid. But if you say it's a really great movie, I'll have to rethink this. How has the weather been in your area? I hope it's been nice. It's been all over the place, man. It's been absolutely nuts, honestly. And I think that's all the Q&A questions. So, okay, back to you guys now. Holy crap, I actually caught one of your lives. Welcome, yeah. Have you seen Nezha 1 and 2? No, I started watching Nezha 1, and honestly, I just found the opening really annoying, and I just stopped watching it. Like, I'll try to watch it again, maybe it'll get better. Do you watch Overly Sarcastic Productions? Sometimes, yeah, they're a fantastic channel. Does Scientology seriously have a mythology? Yes, they have. It's a religion. They believe, like, they say that there's the evil lord fucking Xenu is the cause of all your misery, and in order for you to overcome your misery, you have to give us all of your money and dedicate your entire life to us and brush off a bunch of rape accusations and, like, not use any modern medicine of any kind, and it's so stupid. It's such a stupid, worthless religion. It's such a stupid garbage scam of a group. I hate Scientology so much. Jesus Christ. And yes, you could argue every religion has bad actors in it, but this one is literally just built on being a bad actor. Solomon in Islam versus Solomon in Christianity versus Solomon in Judaism. I don't know enough about the different Solomons to give you a proper answer to that. I'm terribly sorry. But also, like, are you talking like Battle of Wits? Like, Solomon was known for wisdom. Like... Mythology Guy, Nolan Odyssey Inaccuracy video will be your best ever I'm seeing in the future. I'll certainly do that. Like, I don't see why I wouldn't. But I hope the movie comes out good. Have you watched American Gods? No, I want to read the books first. Okay, I'm gonna pause the chat and answer a bunch of stuff. Who would win, Chaos or Vishnu? Well, Chaos is a chaotic force, whereas Vishnu is like a preserving force. So it's kind of hard to say if Vishnu would be able to truly fight Chaos. But Vishnu is supposed to be all-expansive, but so is Chaos. So it's very difficult question to answer. I don't know exactly who would win. It's really hard to power scale mythology, and yet people constantly ask me to do it. Do you know Digimon? Yes, I do. And if you do, what would you do for a Digimon-based mythology? Digimon-based mythology? I don't think Digimon would lend itself well to mythology because Digimon is based on digital data taking on a consciousness of its own, isn't it? I don't see how that really leans into mythology. It's a completely different medium, honestly. some of these some of these questions, it's a little hard for me to tell what you're asking. I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything, but please try to have correct grammar, because otherwise it's really hard for me to tell what some of these questions are. Twisted Flame, thank you for yet another donation. Would you drink Ted milk? What's Ted milk? Handed to you from Lou? And can you explain the Dagda from Celtic mythology? Well, I don't think I'd have a choice if Lou handed me some shit. Like, I don't want to piss Lou off. I've seen what Lou does when he gets pissed off, wiping out all the Fomorians. The Dagda's kind of like a mythical god version of Santa Claus. At least that's how I picture him. He's like this big, fat, bearded, jolly guy. He carries a cauldron around on his back for like his mastery of alchemy, and he's the god of life and death. He also carries a staff with him. One side of the staff brings life, the other side brings death. And he's married to the Morrigan, who is like this gloomy goddess of fate, which is hilarious because I picture her as like a goth Slytherins type girl, whereas the Dagda I picture as like a jolly, like happy guy. It's so funny to think about the fact that they're married, like and yeah, there's other interpretations of the Dagda where he's more of a badass, but like I like to picture him like as the jolly Santa looking guy. Frantic Missy, thanks for the $2. Email sent. Please advise. More should see your work. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Damn it. The chat went all the way down and I missed a few super chats. I'm just trying to answer. Sammy, thanks for the $2. Hope you look into Canaan mythos, ball-inspired Zeus. I have heard this, yes, and it is something I plan to look into at some point. I'm sorry that a lot of the non-super chats aren't getting read. I really don't want to miss the super chats, and there's a lot of them. I'm trying to keep up with all your kindness. Unlockable content! Hey, man, thanks for the $5. Jump and wave to be noticed. Hey, man, glad you're better. Any underappreciated myth movies you can think of? Underappreciated. The first one that came to my mind was Kalki 2988. I think that could be a great way for more people to get into Hinduism, because that movie was, again, it has a slow buildup, but it has such awesome payoff towards the end, in my opinion. Really love that film. There's a lot of bad myth movies out there, so it's hard for me to think of appreciated one. I thought the Netflix Monkey King movie was actually pretty good, but a lot of people were hating on it, so I didn't really get that, to be honest with you. Twisted Flame, thank you for another donation. He actually meant red milk. Ah, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Again, I wouldn't want to refuse Lou, so I'd just hope for the best. Hayden DeGrow, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Have you read Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan? If so, what did you think about it? No, I saw it at the bookstore, but since it wasn't like in his Percy Jackson universe, I thought, I can probably just skip this one, like, because I have a lot to read already, so I don't know, like, is it good? Like, what do you guys think? God, there's so many chats. Ooh. All right, Frantic Missy, thank you for the $2. Also, did ISIS invent the penis game or Cleopatra? Well, ISIS did create a golden dildo to stick on Osiris, so she definitely invented some kind of penis game, if that's what you mean. Oh, God. Death, thank you for the $5. Tell us some fun facts about Siberian mythology. Okay, here's a fun fact. I don't know Siberian mythology. I'm so sorry. You gave me $5 just to hear that. I'm so sorry. Lamau, love your answer. Thank you. Any updates on the Immortals card game? The game itself is like finished and made. I just need to have enough money for the marketing push, and I'm working on that. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster? Really love Black Skull Dragon and Dragon Master Knight. I like dragons, in case you can't tell. Any fun facts about Persephone? Here's one. There's various versions as to how many pomegranate seeds she ate. Some say she ate 6 seeds or half the pomegranate, and so she has to stay in the underworld half the year. Some say she only ate 3 seeds, so she only stays there in winter. Now for some reason, there's this new debate of people saying, actually, she stays in the underworld for 9 months and only comes out in spring. And I don't know where people got that idea from. like, tell me, if God of War doesn't have creators as the main character, which god can take his place? Oh, you meant to say if he doesn't have Kratos as the main character. Well, Atreus obviously could become the main character. Also, if you wanted to just start a completely new thing, you could make a God of War in Egypt where you play as Horus. Plenty you could do with that. You could have a game where you play as Tyr. It's a lot you can do. Have a Japanese one where you play as Hachiman. That'd be amazing. Thoughts on the Black Myth Wukong game? Go watch my streams and video on it. I love the shit out of that game. Any fun facts on German or Moroccan mythology? I don't know enough about it. I'm sorry. I don't know everything. In fact, I wouldn't even say I know most things. Twisted Flame, thank you for another donation. Lu killed the king of the gods with red poison milk and stole his throne. I know who you're... Yeah, Nuada. Yeah, so, like I said, I wouldn't want to say no to Lu, so maybe that red milk would just kill me. You're talking about Nuada the Silverhand, right? Or are we talking about someone else? Am I mixing things up? I don't know. What mythology books should I read? I would recommend any of the books by Jake Jackson. He's covered just about every mythology. But also the Stephen Fry and Dulaire's books and the Neil Gaiman book. I know Neil Gaiman is canceled or whatever, but his books are still good. So, Rick Riordan's books are also pretty good. But if you want the authentic old shit, just go read the original Pseudo-Apollodorus book on Greek myth. Can you give us any cool facts about the Titan Creus? Sure. Yeah, I can do that. So the Titan Creus is the Titan of constellations. He was often very associated with the stars in the sky. And his symbol was often the ram, which is why some people depict him wearing a helmet with ram horns. In Rick Riordan's books, he even describes him that way. And he's also the Titan of the South. He's one of the 4 Titans who held up the sky before they were thrown in Tartarus and Atlas took their place. The place of all 4. What PJO cabin would you be in? Oh, I actually took the quiz for that. There's a video of it on the channel. Go check it out. Hades was the answer, and I was very happy about that. Do you know anything about Canaanite mythology? Not really. Sorry. Chaos versus every god ever. Well, if you combine Ma'at with Shiva and Jehovah, I think they would defeat him. Twisted Flame, thank you for yet another donation. Read the Iron Druid Chronicles. It's on my reading list. It's been heavily recommended. Who's cuter, Cerberus or Fenrir? Cerberus, because he has 3 dog heads. So that's 3 times the cuteness. Why does the sky need to be held up? Because Kronos castrated it, and it's now effectively dead and needs to be held up, basically. How far would Kratos get in PJO? I'm pretty sure Kratos would kill just about everybody. Facts about Mayan gods? Okay. A lot of them... Mayan gods actually share several gods with the Aztecs, but they do have some unique ones. The Aztec Quetzalcoatl is in Mayan under the name Kukulkan, so that's interesting. Mayans have a god of bees and honey named Amuzen-Kab. They also have 13 different monkey deities, one for every type of monkey, basically. It's pretty insane, so there's some cool facts for you. I already answered the Zeus or Odin question. Christian God versus Buddha? Well, I don't think they'd fight. I think they'd just get along, honestly. Hello, Andy Thor. I already answered the favorite mythology question. Mythology Guy, why didn't Nolan make the Iliad first, then the Odyssey? That would be 2 movies, best series. Many people will confuse that in the movie because they haven't read the Iliad. I think it's partially... Okay, I think it's a couple things. First of all, the Odyssey is the more mythical like tale where you can do more fun stuff with it. It's also the more known story, so probably has something to do with it. Also, for the Iliad, it's like a lot of people. We do kind of have a movie that a lot of people watch when they want to know the Iliad. We have that Troy movie. Even though you can argue that's not a perfect example or anything, it is still well known and well watched, and it did get a lot of people into it. We don't really have one of those for the Odyssey right now. Like, at least not one that's well known and well accepted and regarded. So, it's the story he wanted to tell. I do think it would have been better to start with the Iliad and then do the Odyssey, but hey, do what you want to do. And if this is big enough, there's no reason he can't then do a prequel Iliad movie if he really wants to. So, I don't see it as that big a deal. Kevin Griffin, thanks for the $2. Which Percy Jackson book is your favorite? Last Olympian. I really like big battles and sieges and stuff, which is one reason I love the Aragon books and shit. So I loved the Battle of Manhattan. Was really cool. Would the Titans be exclusive to that stretch goal, or can you buy the deck later? We'll see how the business goes. Remember, the game has to succeed. I have to, make enough money off the game to keep it going. And I want to. I want to keep this game going forever. I want to add, 20 different cultures into it and just, keep going and keep going and keep going. But yeah, obviously, please support the game when I release it so that we can have nice things. Are you making an Epic the Musical video? Yes, I am. Are there monsters unique to Mayan mythology? I believe there are, but I'd have to look into it a little more. Mayan and Aztec mythology are a lot smaller than other mythologies. Oh, yeah, I think isn't there the Yahui, I believe? I believe that's only in Mayan mythology, so there's one for you. Is your hair like that on purpose? No, it's not. Ooh, what a horrible accident. Oops, what happened? I like having weird hair, honestly. I don't like having it neat. I like having it be ridiculous. That's who I am. You are looking sleepy. Again, I'm recovering from being very sick, so I am a little sleepy, but I am very happy to be here still. When will you make a video on Lithuanian mythology? Like I said, it's not off the table. I'd be happy to do it. I just have a lot of other stuff to do, in the meantime. But, I might try to do something on Lithuanian. I still need to do some Finnish mythology videos. Those have been being asked for years. Okay. I'm going to pause it again and answer some of these. I heard that... Oh, and there went what I was pausing. I heard that Icarus and Apollo fell... What? I heard that Icarus and Apollo fell in love when the former flew near the sun, but I couldn't find a source. I think that's made up. Thoughts? Yeah, I don't think that's in the myth. I've read the Icarus story 30 different times across different books. Never seen anyone say anything like that. Favorite Percy Jackson character? Honestly, it's Percy Jackson. I'm a basic bitch. Hey, do you know about the new game coming out this year, Digimon Time Strangers? It takes place in another Digiworld called Iliad? Really? And is ruled by the 12 Greek gods? Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look at that. Hello, Iceberg. Opinion on Smite. I was actually one of the first people playing Smite. That gameplay style isn't really my thing, unfortunately. But it's awesome how many gods they have in there. Thoughts on Magnus Chase? I really love most of Magnus Chase. I did think the quality went down a little in each book, though. I thought Sword of Summer was the best. Hammer of Thor was still great. And Ship of the Dead was just okay, in my opinion. Yes, I am making an Epic the Musical video. I missed another super chat? Jesus Christ, hold on. Oh, here we go. Ed the Goat, thank you for the donation. Did you watch the trailer for Season 3 of Record of Ragnarok? Also, did you know they have a spinoff with Wukong versus Prometheus and Ra versus Kekulan? I know the manga has a spinoff. Did they make that into a show? Also, I saw the teaser for Record of Ragnarok. Yes, I hope it's better. No, Homeland Lithuania. I'm not writing it off. I just don't know when I will do it. Just give me some breathing room, please. Samir, thank you for the donation. Will Nolan show Calypso force herself on Odysseus? I highly doubt it. I don't think they're going to show that. I mean, respect if they do. Like, I'm very anti-censorship. I think you should be allowed to show things as they happened or as they were said to happen. Like, I don't like when people tone shit out because they think we can't be adults about it. Kevin, thanks for the $2. Favorite Percy Jackson book? I actually already answered that, but I'll answer it again since you donated. Last Olympian. I love the siege and the battles that happen in that book. I'm working on Epic the Musical right now. You can stop re-asking it. Iliad is ruled by the Roman gods. Are you talking about the Digimon game? Okay. Who are your favorite Hinduism gods and favorite Hindu books? Is that what you said? The Mahabharata is absolutely amazing. Like, it has an Avengers Endgame level ending. I love how everything that gets built up in the Mahabharata is paid off. Such a fantastic storytelling, honestly. Favorite Hindu gods? My top is Kali. And my second favorite is Hanuman. In fact, I have a little Hanuman right here. Hello. I love this guy. When Gods of Pagana. When I learn more about them. Favorite character from Hades. You mean the game? The roguelike? Favorite character? Cerberus. He's a good boy. Any fun facts about Hephaestus? Yeah, Hephaestus does not stay with Aphrodite. He eventually breaks it off with her and marries one of the charities, and so he ends up with a better marriage. Isn't Hanuman just Shiva? He is, in some tellings, said to be an avatar of Shiva. That would be, what you're saying would be like saying, oh, aren't Rama and Krishna just Vishnu? They are still their own people, but they are derived from Vishnu, yes. Are you okay? I'm doing a lot better than I was a couple days ago. A couple days ago, I just couldn't handle anything. Haven't seen you in a long while? Well, here I am. If you know Zoroastrianism, can you explain it? I don't know it well. I did 1 or 2 videos on it. I did on Ahura Mazda and Angra Mayu, where Ahura Mazda creates the celestial bull, because Ahura Mazda is the great creator. Angra Mayu, meanwhile, is the destroyer. And there's a story where he destroys the celestial bull just because he can. He's such an asshole. Flammering, thanks for the $2. What happened if what would happen if Wukong bathed in the river Styx? Well, then he'd get another layer of immortality, I'm pretty sure. You are cool, thank you. Does Hera use a whip during the Titanomachy? If she does, this is the first time hearing of it. Love the vids, thank you very much. Okay, to anyone asking if I checked out a book series you've suggested or a show you've suggested, not yet. All right, I do have them all written down, but I've been working on like 8 videos at once right now. I haven't had time to check out new things, unfortunately. How did you get into mythology? My mom. My mom, when I was a little kid, read me Dulaire's Greek Myths and Arabian Nights, and that was how I got into it. And then when I was like 8 years old, she got me Age of Mythology, and that got me into Egyptian and Norse. And then on Disney XD, there was a show called Jackie Chan Adventures that got me into Chinese, and it just kept going from there. Do you have a rough release date for your card game? No, I'm not going to make promises I can't keep, unfortunately. And I know it sucks to keep waiting and not knowing, but the truth is I don't know either, and I'm doing the best I can. When's every inaccuracy and record of Ragnarok Season 2? Probably at some point this year, I can tell you that. Sun Wukong versus Goku. Oh, you mean the same character? I'm going to say Sun Wukong. Because he is Goku, but with 7 layers of immortality. Okay, it has been almost... Oh, I'm going to answer this. Kevin, thanks for the $5. What other books like Percy Jackson would you suggest by other authors? Ooh, that's a great question. I would suggest the Anansi Boys is a really great one. That's a great adaptation of like African mythology into like a modern setting, like what Percy Jackson does. I would also suggest the series Aztec. Who's the author of Aztec? Give me a sec. Where's my Aztec books? Shit. But that's also a great adaptation. Where did I put my I can't find half my books. I have too many goddamn books. Well, it's called Aztec, and it's a really good series. And I would also suggest the book Krampus the Yule Lord by Brom. Fantastic book. Just, I love that book to death. So there's some examples for you. Flammering, thank you for another $5. Have you ever wondered what Athena's reaction to her first brain baby would be, and would she ask Zeus for help? I don't think she would ask Zeus for help, but I think her first reaction would be, oh, didn't know I could do that. I should be careful what I think about from now on. It's like Shrek in Shrek 4. I didn't know we could do that. Engineer Gaming, thank you for the donation. Hey, Mythman, just wanted to say I love your content. Also, my sister Olivia loves your content. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Olivia. Happy freaking birthday. Ever thought of inventing your own mythology? I don't see the point. There's already so many fantastic cultures out there. I don't really see the need for a new one. Like, you know, there's already so much. Opinions on Yu-Gi-Oh? I loved Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. I still have my old cards. Heyo, here's an oldie. Some of you might recognize this. Unfortunately now it's been completely ruined. They've ruined that game with all the garbage they've added in. I hate pendulums, I hate XYZs, I hate links, I hate freaking synchros. Why did they do that? Why did they keep changing how the game was played? I don't know why they did that to us. Will you ever do videos on Lovecraft mythology? I've actually been meaning to. I would really like to get some Lovecraftian shit out there. Fun facts about Susano? Sure. Susano, even though his sister was ruler of the gods, Susano was not afraid of her. In fact, he hated her for a long time. Like, he threw tantrums at her. He threw a horse at her loom at one point. He also created an enormous storm in an attempt to fuck her up. And it got to the point where their father, Izanagi, had to banish Susano from the heavens. And then later he went and he defeated Yamato no Orochi. And for some reason inside the eight-headed dragon Orochi was a sword called Kusanagi no Tsurugi. And when he took it out, he brought it back and gave it to Amaterasu to apologize. And that's how he got back into the heavens. Siblings, am I right? Oh, hey, didn't know you did live stuff. Love your content. Thank you. Thank you very much. The idea of pansexual Zeus just scares me. Well, we don't know for sure that he's not that way. We know he's bi. Where is Devil May Cry? I don't know. Where is it? Are you asking me for a video on Devil May Cry? We streamed 4 of the games recently. Go over to Zagreus' channel. It's linked in this video right now. Is the world tree just a big tree? Well, it's definitely not just a big tree. It also connects all of reality, time, and space. Like, yeah. I love you so much. Thank you. What great god would you get rid of if you could? I wouldn't get rid of any of them. I like when we have more gods and more characters and more legends to play with, honestly. Even when someone's reprehensible and an asshole, I prefer to have those fun stories than to, like, not have them. I love your content. Keep being amazing. Thank you. I have not seen Hazbin Hotel yet. It is on my watch list. You sound sick. Well, you are very good at picking things up. I was sick over the last few days, and I'm still recovering from it. I haven't played Azura's Wrath, but I want to. Who do you think is better, Tlaloc or Chalk? I definitely think Tlaloc is, like, more metal. I like him better, personally. I like the more monstrous look that he has. You're so cool. You're too kind. When you search mythologies, do you use resources from internet, books, or both? Both. When I want to learn a new mythology, I try to go to, like, Barnes & Noble or something and get at least 2 books on the topic. And I look through them, and I'll also sometimes go to the internet to try to find different interpretations or stuff, but I usually want to find something that sounds like it's been educated or backed up, because people always have their own weird fanfic online. So I take something as more definitive if I have a printed book on it, and especially if it's a translation of actual ancient stuff. That's the best source to use, obviously. Favorite mythology is either Greek or Japanese. Greek because I know it the best, and Japanese because it's the craziest. I'm just answering again because people keep asking. Good to know. Thanks for the answer. You're welcome. Favorite Norse tale, the tale of Utgard Loki. Oh, and yours is that too. Great. I'm trying to create my own mythology based on the Baltics and Indo-European. Oh, well, good luck with that. That could be really cool. Would you do a room tour? Sure. There you go. I'm just messing with you. My room's kind of a mess right now. I'd probably do a room tour when I have shit more together and more figured out. Freya versus Hel. Freya. Hel's not really a fighter. The only weapon she has to her name is her knife. And it's not like a big knife. It's a little kitchen knife named freaking Famine. Who has the bigger deck? I always have the... Hold on. I always have the biggest deck. Yeah. My God. Anyway. Can you add expansions to the Norse mythology deck, like with Nulkin and Pestia, etc.? Yeah, 100%. Like, one big expansion I really want to do in the Norse deck someday is I want to do a big naval expansion to it, like incorporate more ships and more water-based creatures, and that would definitely include the Nulkin. Do you think Sun Wukong could lift Thor's hammer? Easy. Easy. Bro, the dude lifted the heaviest mountain in his entire religion when there wasn't a magic seal on it. Like, without the seal, he just went, fuck this mountain. Like, yeah. Are you single? I am not. Nope. Sorry, spoken for, completely taken. Yep. I forgot what I was looking for. But, yeah. Is Hestia Bestia? 100%. Better than the Restia. Have you seen the comic book Godzilla versus the Greek gods? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have. I don't think I've ever seen that comic book. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I don't think that I've ever heard of such a comic where Godzilla fights the Greek gods. Nope. Sorry. Definitely not a thing. Nope. Yeah. Never heard of it. Sorry about that. I'm talking about my question you keep skipping. Oh, I'm skipping your question? Hold on, let me scroll back a little. Kensei. I'm trying to find it, I'm just not seeing it. Are you sure your question isn't getting, like, filtered out or something? Kensei. I'm talking... Okay, now you just said it again. I'm talking about my question you keep skipping over. Kensei. I'm trying to find your question now. Okay, I can't find it. Ask it again. I'm sorry. Try asking it with a different terminology. I'm worried YouTube might be filtering it or something. I am still not single. Sorry. Hello, Ian. Hey, do you plan on making an inaccuracy video for Black Myth Wukong? Not really, no, because there's almost nothing to point out. In fact, what is inaccurate, I already pointed out in my boss's explained video. So, like, I don't see the point. Like, what else am I gonna say? There's only, like, 2 things that are inaccurate in the game, and I pointed them both out in my boss's video. Hey, Mythology Guy, you said you played Age of Mythology. Favorite god and creature from the game? It's hard to pick a favorite. I really like, constantly switching between which gods I'm worshiping and stuff like that. But I think the ones I typically, when I want like to really kick ass, I'll typically worship Hades because he's really good at auto-generating resources, like with that automatic gold income. And then, of course, worshipping Hephaestus on the Final Age gets you the Plenty Vault, and the Colossus, which just wrecks ass. So I usually like to fuck shit up with the Colossi. Sun Wukong is my favorite mythical character. Is Sun Wukong considered a god or just a really powerful being? It depends on who you ask, but most people do call him a god, yeah. Hey, are you excited for the Odyssey movie coming out? I'm curious about it. I hope it's really good. What game are you talking about? Oh, I'm making a card game. There are links to it in the video description. You can check out its Instagram and its website. Hello, Epic Nick. Yeah, Kensei, if you're asking your question again, I've been looking for it in the new thing, and I'm not seeing anything pop up, so I don't know what's going on. Who'd win, Sun Wukong versus Heracles if neither had immortality? Well, it would still be Sun Wukong because he still has like 800 other powers. So, like, I just don't see Heracles beating him. Sorry. Why are Mesopotamian mythologies rarely adapted in media? It's a constant self-fulfilling cycle of like the more something gets adapted, the more people know about it, and then the more they want to adapt it. It's just because unfortunately Mesopotamian got the short end of the stick early on, and so doesn't get used as much. But hopefully we can change that in the future. Okay, Kensei, what do you think of my idea to have Freya and Hel fight to the death at Ragnarok? That would be awesome. And my idea to have Odin tell Balder the secret rune at his funeral, and that be what resurrects him during Ragnarok. Okay, you got some cool ideas here. So the thing that I'll just tell you in case you don't know, the reason Balder comes back to life isn't during Ragnarok, it's after Ragnarok, because there's no one guarding Hel anymore, so he can just leave, which is a funny rule when you think about it. So, but yeah, you could say like a rune thing just to make it more epic. But here's the thing. Freya and Hel are literally not mentioned at all during Ragnarok, so I love your idea to clear up both of those holes by just having them fight each other. That would be such an amazing fight, and I think I do think Freya could win, but you could really like lean into Hel like being a sorceress and like doing all kinds of crazy shit. I love that idea. Fantastic idea. Okay. Do you like the 12 Labors of Heracles myth? It's literally my favorite myth. Okay, it's been over an hour and 40 minutes, and I need to try to make a short for today before I go over to Shane's place to stream Kingdom Hearts. So, who's hotter, Aphrodite or Ishtar? Are you trying to get me killed, boy? So here's the thing. I'm going to wrap up this stream here, but do not be discouraged because there is another stream in less than 2 hours that we're going to do over on Shane's channel. So if you're like, oh, I want you to answer my question, just come join that stream in 2 hours. In fact, I would keep streaming here, but I have to like record a short and then head over to his place. So, and if you're like, but I don't know where Shane's channel is, it's the first link in this video, I believe. Let me check. I did put it here, right? Yeah, just see, look at the video description. It says streaming channel. You just click that link and it'll take you right over to Shane's channel. And we're going to start streaming there within the next 2 hours. So there you go. Feel free to ask us whatever the fuck you want because it's going to be like a 3-4 hour stream. We'll have plenty of time to answer your questions. You can't click it. Why can't you click it? Hold on. Let me see if it's clickable. It works on my end, so I don't know what's going on. But the YouTube channel is called Zagreus Den, so if you can't click it, just search up the name, I guess. But again, before I sign off, I really want to say, like, I'm sorry that I was supposed to do this stream 2 days ago, but like me being sick got in the way of everything. But what really blew me away was I honestly was really, really stressed about the whole thing because you know, I've never straight up missed a whole stream before. That was an absolute nightmare. I was like, God, people are going to be so mad at me. I've completely wasted their time and I feel so bad about it because like I just left everybody on red for like 2.5 hours. But when I posted on my YouTube community page what happened, you were all so unbelievably kind and sweet and supportive and well-wishing. It honestly blew me away. Like, you guys have always been nice, but like, there was just no anger at all, like just constant support and constant kindness. And I can't believe like just how lucky I am to have an audience like this. And it made me all the more want to do the live today. And you know what else? It helped me sleep. It helped me like just lie down and relax. And I slept for, God, I don't even know how many hours, like so long. And in fact, I slept for so long that when I finally woke up, my back was all stiff. But thankfully, like my nose had cleared up and so much felt better. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for your kindness, for your support, for your patience, for how sweet you've all been. I appreciate the living hell out of it. This is the only stream I look forward to watching. Thank you. Very sweet of you. So yeah, I'm happy I was able to do this stream, and I'm happy we're going to continue streaming in a couple hours. Kingdom Hearts Hot Sauce Challenge, not going to be fun. but I hope to see you guys there. Oh, hello, Amelia. Thank you for the donation. Is your stream available on Twitch? Yes, it is also available on Twitch. On twitch.tv/Zagreus. So you can watch it there as well. Who would win, Cetus versus the Kraken? That's actually kind of hard. I might give it to Cetus. Yeah, I'll say Cetus, but like, don't quote me on that. But yeah, thanks for everything, you guys. Really, really appreciate it. I'm sorry I couldn't keep up with the insane amount of messages. Wonderful turnout. Again, appreciate all of you. But I did the best I could. And if I missed your chat and you didn't get what you wanted out of it, feel free to come join us on the other stream. I don't know how to end